'Cause I love what I do, man. I just love everything I do. I just, I tell you, as you get older, you start to realize things that, the things that are important to you and things that aren't important. But I know one thing. I'm going to go ahead and the plane is taking off here. The pilot just put on the fasten seatbelt sign. We're about to just take off this landing pad here. I appreciate every single one of you. Yeah, I just did it again. Don't laugh at me. I did the wrong buttons again.
Oh, Tony, you know what
I muted myself out. Oh, that's hilarious.
You know we got to have that laugh every day.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. I love
We don't.
I muted myself out again. And I just looked over, and I knew I was doing it, too. I saw the mouse going over to the wrong button. I said, whoops, that's the wrong one. And then I quickly unmuted myself. That's hilarious. I listened to the calls.
Like, okay, let's make Tina's day. Let's mute myself out.
It's hilarious because I listen to the calls. Actually, I do these calls live for you guys, and then I go back and I listen to the recording. So I actually listen to the call after I do it, and so it gives me 2 hours of audio 3 times a week, okay? The subconscious mind, the subconscious mind only knows what you tell it. So it doesn't know really fact from fiction. This is why it's really amazing, your mind. I know you guys heard me say this before, but your mind is really, really amazing. And I was going to have someone on today, but it turns out that this young man had a really long night last night, as did I. We were up last night. We were communicating back and forth, and we were talking about some marketing things and things like that. But it was 3 o'clock in the morning when he and I were communicating, and then he went off to bed around 3:30. So it was real early for him, real late for him, and then he couldn't sleep for some reason. But then, so I said to him, "Hey, listen, just come back on tomorrow." And I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning, doing what I was doing. And but who am I and who is it that's talking to you? I always forget to do that at the beginning of the call. My name is Tony Prophet, and I am just so excited. I really, really, really enjoy doing these calls. And I've been at this game here, and you hear me say a game. This is a game. When you hear Donald Trump talk about business, you hear him talk. He says it's a game. When you hear other self-made men and women, you hear them say it's just a game. It is a game. It is a game because you have to play it to win. You know what I mean? And I've been doing this for quite a few years, and it hasn't been a bed of roses. It hasn't. It has been a challenge, and even still to this day, I find myself with challenges. And my friend, if life doesn't deal you a challenge, you'll get bored. You'll get bored, and that's the cool thing about what I do and what many of you do that are listening to the sound of my voice. Like I said, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and this journey, like the bull when it goes out to, like I said yesterday, like the bull that goes out to be tested to see how far it can go in its, in its game of bullfighting. How it's tested? It's tested by being jabbed in the back with those. The picador uses those jabs. So he jabs the bull in the back to test its tenacity and to test its willingness, and basically, when I was reading how that the bull is tested, the kid bull is tested, it reminded me of my years, since '97, and how I've gone through those times, dark times in my life, back in, back in the beginning in 98 and 99 all the way to, to late and just recently into 2000, and how, it's been a struggle, and how you have to really deep dig inside, deep inside to pull out that, that drive, that ambition that you need to be able to push yourself, to never quit. And when I sat in that room, in that four-walled room, like most of us have a four-walled room. If you don't have a four-walled room, you probably have a problem because one of your walls fell down. But but I sat in this room. It was actually a kitchen in one of the apartments that we had back then. And here I sat, and that's where I was building my businesses. And yeah, I did say businesses, but that's where I was building it in a kitchen in a corner in a old white desk. I remember this like yesterday. I actually have the picture in my mind, the white desk, and it had sort of like little sort of sparkly things in it, and it was real old. I remember I got it out of an apartment, and that's the desk that I would sit at, and I had an old squeaky chair that I sat in, and that's where I went every day to do my work. And I had some things come up where, we were losing a lot of the properties, and a lot of things were going on, and, and I didn't know what I know now, and what I teach you, every one of you that are listening to the sound of my voice on a weekly basis, that I was in control, and what was happening to me, I actually created. Now, that might sound a little weird to you. How can somebody create the problems that they're having? Or how can someone create the situations that they are having? My friend, it's true. I created the situation that I was in. I put myself into that slump. I put myself into that black room. I literally opened the door myself and sat in that black room myself, and I kept myself in that black room. I did that. I did that. So you're saying to yourself, what do you mean, Tony? You did that. I put myself in that room. I was the one that got up. I was the one that opened the door. I was the one that went into the room, and I was the one that reminded myself that I'm a loser, and I'm this, and I'm that, and stay here and sulk and cry over your spilt milk. I'm the one that did that. See, did you ever have somebody say to you, hey, you make me mad? You see, you're not the one making them mad. Had somebody say that to me the other day, someone that I care about. So you make me angry. And I just looked at them. I said, actually, I don't make you angry. You allow someone else to take yourself, make yourself angry. And you don't do anything to someone else. They are the ones doing it to themselves, or allowing it to do it for them to do it to themselves. Just like I allowed myself to be in a black room for so many years, and to allow myself to think that way. And it's amazing the moment how someone, you and I, in the moment that we can say, I've had it. The moment that the very nanosecond, the very split second that you say, you've had it. And that's what I did. I said, I've had it. Laying in my bed, in a room that we didn't get to paint yet. It was a 2-unit apartment building, or a 2-flat, whatever you say. There's 2 apartments. We owned it, and we lived up on the top floor, on the top apartment. We painted everything else. We remodeled everything else but the one room. And you know how it is. It's always it's always the master bedroom and stuff like that gets the last of the paint and stuff. And I was glad today, as I'm telling you the story, I'm glad that's the way it happened. As I laid there in the bed at night, and I just looked up, and I just see these little stickers on the ceiling, and they're like little moons and stars, and a little starburst, and like a long shooting star up there. And I'm just laying in the bed, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, there's a whole world out there that I don't know about. There's a whole world out there, and I'm here sulking and crying in this one here that I'm not happy in. You see, my friend, when you finally realize and you scream from the mountaintops, I've had it. And from this very moment, from this very moment, from this very moment, I say I've had it and I'm taking the steps to change it now. You have that power. You have that power. You have the power to say, this is it. From this day forward, I will seek out to mimic, to model those that are where I want to be. From this very moment, I will begin to read 30 minutes a day, at least a chapter a day in a good book. If you want a good book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. The Greatest Salesman in the World. There's some other books that I'm reading. There's another book that I'm actually, I have it on my list here to go and get so that I can read it, and then I will let you guys know about that book. It was actually my mentor that recommended it to me, but I'm going to go and get that book, and then it's actually a really old book. It's 1948. Not that old, but it's an old book from 1948, and I'm going to get that book. I actually am enjoying reading. I mean, you probably don't know me that well, or you haven't been like a close friend of mine, but those people that know me, those friends of mine that know me, my family members that know me, they know me not to be such a reader. Wasn't really an avid reader, and now I really enjoy reading because I saw successful people that I am mimicking and modeling, that they read all the time, and they always have positive audios on. We have a program in our organization that we call it the Inner Circle. Okay, and it's packed, jam-packed with audios, and it's amazing what audio can do to you. And this is why you have to be careful what you allow to go into your ears, because your ears is the gateway to your subconscious mind. Your ears is the gateway to your subconscious mind. And this is why, even your eyes. So those channels, your eyes and your ears, those channels are a channel to your subconscious mind. And this is why I say you have to be the watchman at the gates. You have to be the watchman at the gate. You have to be the one that stands there and say, hey, nope, you can't come in. You thought can't come in. You audioed that bad audio or that video or whatever. I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to allow that to be in my sphere of influence. I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow you to talk to me that way. Or I'm not going to be a friend with you, you negative influence person. Now, you're saying this to yourself, obviously. You're not going to go and intentionally hurt somebody's feelings. But what I'm saying is you may find yourself in a position, you might have that situation right now in your life, and you're asking yourself, man, why is it that that person over there is doing it? And why is it that I'm stuck? It's what I'm sharing with you, part of it. It's what I'm sharing with you. It's part of it. I was reading on the internet because I do a lot of research and stuff like that. And I was reading and I was doing some research, and I and I see people that take the time to put this elaborate videos and stuff like that, bashing someone else. And then you wonder, and I don't wonder, I know why, and then they wonder why their life is stuck. Because they take so much time to bash and beat on someone else that's making it, because their success just sucks. So they think the answer is to go and bash that other person and go say things about that other person. And sitting in this chair looking back and saying, that person has no idea what they're talking about. And when you have the experience, and you have that experience, it's sort of like If they only knew. You just want to reach out to them and say, if you only knew that taking the time to do what you're doing, putting that negative aura energy into your life, it's only holding you back. Not that other person. Not that other person. I know that other person. That other person sleeps well at night. May have gotten upset one time about it, said something about it, and then let it go, as most successful people do. Can you imagine Richard Branson, the backslapping that he gets and the lashing, the tongue lashings that he gets from people? And when you look at it, at the end of the day, it's really envy. That's what it is. The person that's lashing out on that other person is envious and would like that person's life, but would rather go and say negative things about that person and lash out about him than to go and fix their own lives and fix their own house, get their own affairs in order so that they can have that life. I was having a conversation yesterday with Sebastian Vaz. I love that name. I call him Vaz. He's going to be on our call tomorrow. Okay? Here's a young man realized, okay, what am I stuck on? He was stuck. He's going to go over his story tomorrow. You guys got to be on it tomorrow to listen to that. He was stuck. And he said to me yesterday, I won't go into detail what he said because I want him to share it with you. But my friends, the things that we're sharing with you on this call caused this young man to see that breakthrough. And I could feel the joy. I could feel the joy right now. I got goosebumps the size of milk duds on my arms right now. Those of you that listen to the sound of my voice on a weekly basis on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. New York City time know when I say I got goosebumps on my arms the size of milk duds, it's just that rush of energy that's going through me right now. The excitement that's going through me right now, just the exciting things that are happening right now for those people that will just throw themselves in the pathway of success and understand that what I'm telling them is God's truth. I'm telling you, man, not that it's being biblical or, I'm not getting into preaching here, but it's the absolute God's truth. I'm telling you that if you were to just listen to the sound of my voice and implement the things that we talk about, your life could change. Now, let me put a disclaimer in here. These calls are for educational purposes only. I am not a doctor, nor do I want to be. I don't have a license to practice any kind of medicine. Any kind of financial advice. There's no financial advice here on these calls at all. As a matter of fact, we're not giving you any advice. How's that? We're just having a conversation and, So please understand that we are not making any income plans. If we have somebody on here, like Sebastian coming on tomorrow, anybody speaks about income, we're not making any income plans here. We're not making any income guarantees here. We're not making any guarantees at all that you'll have success at all. But see, success is different for everyone. The definition of success is different to you than it is to me. If I were to say to you, tell me what your definition of success is, I can guarantee you that your success definition is different than mine. My success definition is different than my mentor's. Okay? So definition to success is totally different. Everybody's definition is different. But I can tell you this, one thing I can guarantee, that the definition of failure is the same all across the board. The definition of failure is the same all across the board. And it's amazing. I'm just so grateful to be where I am today. I'm just so grateful, and I feel so blessed to be where I am today and to be on this hero's journey that I'm on, and to be able to say that I just jump off the bed in the morning and just excited to get going again. To be able to go to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, that tells you something. I'm not saying to do that. I mean, I don't think it's, you know, you don't want to keep doing that. I mean, it's, you don't want it to get just only 3 hours of sleep a day. It's actually recommended that you get 8. But like I said, I'm not a doctor, so go ask your doctor about that. But, you know, when you know, you just know because you know, that you are in the right place at the right time, when you're just so excited to get it, to go do it. See, that's one of the cool things, to be able to, you know, I was having this conversation with this young man, and we're just going back and forth, and I could tell he's really excited. He is having the time of his life right now at his young age, because he realized that what we were telling him and the things he was learning and things he was hearing and the things that he was getting from his mentor was exactly what he was looking for, was exactly what he had to do. And he just stumbled onto something, and bam, he didn't stumble onto it. He on purpose put himself in the lane of success and just latched on and went for the ride and did the work. He wasn't looking for somebody to just come and give him a handout. You know, most of the people that I know, as a matter of fact, everybody that I know that is successful, all of them, they weren't looking for a handout. And they accepted the hand up. They accepted that the lane of success was moving rapidly and will leave them behind. It will leave them behind if they just don't jump on the lane and boom, let's go. I'm latching on, go. I'm following you, go. You put your hand out to get somebody else that's going to come. You see, life is not going to wait for you. Sit in your chair. Actually, I'm just saying this kidding around. Don't do that. But if you want to, try it once. Sit in your chair, look at the clock, and tell the clock. Now, don't unplug it and don't take the battery out. But tell the clock that has a fresh battery in it or has that, power going to it. Tell that clock, stop and wait for me. Do not tick another second. Do not tick another minute and wait for me. My friends, let me know how that goes for you. Tell Tuesday, what's today, Wednesday? Wow, Wednesday. I thought today was Tuesday. Life of the entrepreneur, right? The days just go and hey, okay. I don't have to be anywhere in particular. So anyway, but tell Wednesday, today, Wednesday, December the 4th. Tell today, Wednesday, hey, Wednesday, wait for me. Do not call Thursday, and do not tell Thursday to be here. Tell Thursday to wait for us, because you're waiting for me right now. Wednesday, do not move an inch. Stay Wednesday until I tell you to be Thursday. See if that works. Now, I'm being a little bit foolish and a little bit clownish here because, you know, I like to have fun. But the point that I'm making is try it. See if it does. See if you can stop the clock. My friend, if you can stop the clock, I want to know how you did it. I'm going to listen to you. But chances are, from what I know and understand, it ain't going to happen. 2013 is going to be gone, my friend. 2013, guess what? It's coming to an end. Very, very, very soon. Before you know it, 2014 will be upon you. In 3.5 short weeks, in 3.5 short weeks, you will be 3.5 weeks older, and 2013 will be just a year in your rearview mirror. 2013 will be a year in your rearview mirror. Now, my question to you is, my friend, and I'm asking this to myself, as I'm pointing one finger to you, I'm pointing my fingers right back to me. Both my hands are pointing, all the fingers are pointing back to me. Because I'm on this journey too. We are all the same journey. It's just some of us choose different roads. And the thing is that just as that 2013 is going to be a year in your rearview mirror, it's going to also be a year in my rearview mirror. See, it's the same. It's the same. The question is, will you sit down today, if you didn't yesterday, will you sit down today and physically, really handwrite, not computerized, handwrite what it is you really want? What is it really that you want? And I always tell people when I say to them, what type of income would you like to make a month? Like I said, I'm not making any income claims here. We're just having a conversation here. When I have a chat with folks, you know, that come on board and they decide to start their own journey, I always ask them, what type of income is it that you want to make? And they always fill out that questionnaire. They put a number in there. But when I'm on the call with them, I ask them, how serious are you about that? How much do you really believe that in your deep inside you? How much do you believe that's how much money you'll make? And then you can hear the hesitation. See, what my mentor said, when someone asked my mentor, I was there, went and asked him in front of 120 other people in a room in Hawaii, I'll never forget this, walked up to him and said, hey, how much money a month do you want to make? And he, boom, like that, immediately said $1 million a month. He didn't skip a beat. So if I said to you, how much money a month do you want to make? Can you come right out and say it? See, you believe it then. If there is not that white, if you don't have, if it's not something where you absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt, okay, that you absolutely want that, okay, you have absolute certainty. You have absolute certainty that that's what you want. That's what's important here. You have to have absolute certainty that that's what you want. So when you sit down and you begin to write out your journey, I don't call them goals. I don't call them anything like that. When you begin to write out and put together the blueprint for your journey, and you are actually in your mind's eye, visually seeing the outcome, that's what's key. That is when you really have nailed it. When you can sit down and visually see in your mind's eye, because your mind thinks in pictures, my friends. I don't know if you know this, but your mind thinks in pictures. Think of a pink elephant. You just thought of a pink elephant. That's how your mind works. Your mind works in pictures. So this is why, you know, for those of you that know me, you'll see that I have a Hawker. I actually upgraded it in my mind, a Hawker 5000, and it's a faster jet than the one you're on right now. And we leave that one back at the hangar, okay? But we just take you on this one here, which is the Hawker 850 XP. So you see, for those of you that are jet enthusiasts and like jets and things like that, well, then you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, when you could understand that your mind works in pictures, and this is why it's a really good idea that, let's just say, for instance, you want a BMW 6 Series. The 6 Series 2014 one is awesome. If you like BMW, just go check it out. I actually have pictures of it and video of me driving it. So we have one, a BMW, but not a 6, not the newer 6 Series. But you know, when you, this is why I say to you, when you go and you begin to write down and create that blueprint, and you begin to see the outcome, since we're in 2013, and like I said, in a few short weeks it'll be over, 2013 will be in your rearview mirror, you begin to lay out your plan, your blueprint for tomorrow, starting tomorrow, on to next year. I don't like New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in them. You know, how many people do you know that go and make a New Year's resolution, and 99% of them probably never even get through the first week of their New Year's resolution? What I'm saying to you is create a blueprint. Create your blueprint. Really sit down and write it down. Sit down and write it down. Get a piece of paper out right now if you want to and begin writing. What do you seriously want? And what do you have, what that thought that comes in, you have to get, has to have that feeling like, yes, that's what I want. That feeling. And then you begin to take the action. See, if so many people say to me, oh, but I visualize it all the time. I said, okay, what have you done to take you toward your goal? Oh, nothing. I just sit here and visualize. Really? Yeah, that part of The Secret wasn't telling you the truth. That part of the movie, and I love the movie The Secret, so I watched that movie about 130 times. So I watched that movie, okay? So I really know what that movie's about. But the thing is, that part about sitting on the sofa and visualizing the car you're driving and not doing anything else but that, you're never going to get that car. That part of visualizing is great. That's awesome to be able to do that and sit down. I do that. Sit down for 15, 20, 30 minutes and visualize the outcome of the life that you want. Do that. But you also have to put the work in, my friend. You also have to get up off your ass. You can't sit on that chair forever visualizing. You have to put in the work. Ask Einstein, ask Edison. If you could ask Edison, you have to go dig him up out of his grave. But if you could ask Edison, or if you read anything about Edison, you would see that he failed. He failed more than he succeeded. At any given time, one failure could have finished it. At any given time, he would have never met Tesla. At any given time, he would have never connected with Tesla and to have the electricity that we have today. Go check it out. Read the story yourself. It wasn't all Edison, even though that's what they say, okay? But if it wasn't for Edison and Tesla, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We would still have candles as light, and we would have maybe strings as phones. We wouldn't have what we have today. We wouldn't have the technology that we have today. So we owe a debt of gratitude to those people that had the wherewithal and the capacity to say, I will do this. I was put on this earth to make this work. I was put on this earth to make this work. We owe a debt of gratitude to those forefathers, the founders, the people that had started this journey for us. Someone else started your journey. Someone else paved your way to where you're at right now. And it's up to you to pick up the hoe, to get in the driver's seat of that backhoe, or whatever they call those machines, and move the dirt in front of you. It's totally up to you. It's up to you to say, I've had it. It's up to you to say, okay, from this day forward, this is where I take control. I am controlling my own destiny. I'm not only sitting on the chair dreaming about the automobile that I want. I'm not sitting in a chair doing my visualization, and that's all I'm doing. I know that's part of it. I know that reading every single day is part of it. This is why I recommend The Greatest Salesman in the World. It forces you, if you want to, you have to self-force it, obviously, but it teaches you and molds you into taking action. To read the same scroll for 30 days, 3 times a day, it takes commitment. And also what's happening, it is beginning to put you into a different habit. It takes and changes your habits and begins to implement and to instill habits of a successful person, habits of a winner. See, everything that you're doing right now, everything that you do is a habit. Notice how, if you have a job and you go to work every day, notice how you go the same way every day. Some of you are at work right now that are listening to the sound of my voice. I appreciate you. Some of you are at work right now listening to the sound of my voice. Think about, it's you that I'm talking to that's at work right now. Think about it. Did you go the same way that you always go? That's a habit. You have a habit of getting into your car the same way if you drive. You have a habit of putting your seatbelt on. I hope you put your seatbelt on. I never wore a seatbelt, but I do now. I hope you put your seatbelt on. So some people they don't wear them, and they have their own beliefs, and that's fine. My car forces me to put it on. If not, it starts going ding, 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 and it drives me nuts. And I have no way of turning that thing off. So I have to write a letter to BMW and see what I can do to turn that off. No, I'm just kidding. But, notice how the littlest things you do, I'm talking about just the littlest things you do, by the things you do by the moment you get up in the morning, the very moment that your eyes open and you are given, and your Creator jumpstarts your heart and gives you that first breath in the morning and gives you that first vision in the morning. Just try to visualize and remember the things that you do from the moment that you get up. The things that you do from the moment that you get up. Now, the first thing I do is I get my book out. Obviously, it's The Greatest Salesman in the World right now. It's the book I'm reading. I crack that thing open and I read my chapter. Okay, my scroll, not chapter. That's the first thing I do. And I'm just beginning to be very grateful. I begin being grateful and giving thanks for the things that I have, and giving thanks for the opportunity to live again, giving thanks to have the opportunity to change someone else's life today. Just notice the things that you do. Notice how you put your seatbelt on. You put it on the same way all the time. Notice how when you get into your car and you sit down, you scooch, scooch, scooch the same way you always do it. You turn your signals on when you pull out your driveway if you have a driveway, or if you pull out from your parking space. You do the same thing. Try going a different way once. Today, when you're going home from work today, go a different way. It's going to feel uncomfortable. Ask me how I know. I don't have to go really anywhere. I don't have to go to a job, but when I did, I remember I used to go the same way. And the moment that I tried to go another way, it felt uncomfortable. And see, doing what we're telling you to do, what I'm sharing with you today, about creating your blueprint and actually writing your blueprint down, literally getting a piece of paper and writing your blueprint down. Some of you that are part of our association, you actually have something in the back office that you could download, okay? And you could begin to use that as a template to create your blueprint. Take it serious. Take it serious. Sit down and write it out. Create your blueprint and begin to go out and get, pictures of the things that are going to be a reality in your life. Go and get the pictures. Put them on your computer. For your computers, if you have a desktop PC, I don't know how Mac works. I'm not a Mac guy, but if you have a PC like I do, your screensaver. Put your dream visions on your screensaver. I know people right now that they go out and they got this program where they can literally create a vision board or a dream board, whatever you want to call it, and they put it onto their computer and added music to it. I actually have a video of my own voice saying aloud my visions, things that I want to accomplish. I actually put it into video form so I could actually see it on my MP3 player. I could hear it, and I'm putting all those senses to work. Try to get as many, not try, do, get as many of the emotions involved. You want to see it, you want to hear it, you want to speak it, get all your emotions, you want to feel it. That's why you go for a little test drive. You want a Bentley or something like that, go test drive it. Get a picture of yourself in that car that you want. Get a picture in the home. Go call a realtor. I want to go look at the house. They're not going to ask you how much you make. You want $1 million house? Call a realtor. Go look at $1 million house. You want a $5 million house? Call a realtor. Go look at a $5 million house. You want a $20 million house? Call a realtor. Go see a $20 million house. They're not going to ask you how much money you make. And if they do, call another realtor. He doesn't want your business, tell him just like that. You don't want my business, I'll go somewhere else. Have a nice day. Hang up the phone. Call another realtor. Go see a $20 million house. Whatever your heart's desire. Go and physically put yourself into that. Go and put yourself into that. Begin to believe that you will achieve. Because what the mind can conceive, my friend, I'm not giving you any guarantees here, but I can tell you this. It's proven. I seen it with my own eyes just yesterday. Last night, having this conversation with this young man, which you're going to hear tomorrow. Last night, having this conversation, I know where this young man came from. I remember it. It was just 2 months ago. And to hear and see and read what I'm reading, I'm like, wow. For those people that doubt it, that this stuff works, it makes me sad sometimes. This stuff works, my friend. I'm telling you. Visualize what it is you want, my friend. Put it on paper. Don't be lazy. Listen to the sound of my voice. Please listen to what I'm telling you. December 4th, 2013 will never come again. As a matter of fact, you are listening to the sound of my voice. You might be listening to this in a recording. Today, whatever date today is, as you're listening to the sound of my voice, whatever date today is, my friend, will never, ever, ever come back. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I can guarantee you that today will never come back again. As a matter of fact, this very second, okay, boom, it's gone. That second ago, it'll never come back. How serious is it to do what I'm suggesting you do? Your life could depend on it. Begin right now, today, this moment, right now, this second, and take it serious. Take the time that's necessary for you to write down what you want. And then one thing that an exercise that I learned, okay, what exercise that I learned, which was very powerful, is like sit down, seriously, sit down and see exactly how much. I'll tell you right now, most people can live their life with under $10,000 a month. Most people. Most people can live their lives and be very comfortable with just $10,000 a month. I was talking to somebody else who I shared this with. We were actually talking on the phone via Skype, and the person told me, hey, you know what? Now that you said that, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm actually comfortable now. Like literally, right? I have everything that I'm very happy with the house that I live in. I have a fairly new car, which is okay with me. It's a nice car. It's not brand new, but that's okay. I don't want a brand new car. But it's a nice car. It's running really great, has low miles, it's garage kept. I have a beautiful home, Tony. All I would need to make is $7,000 a month, and that's all I mean, $7,000 a month that I don't have to bust my ass getting, is what he said. And I said to him, okay, so that's the number that you need to reach now. So that's the goal he has, $7,000 a month. You see, his mind, because he went through the process. I had another person that said $2,000 a month, I'm good. I mean, $2,000 a month, I'm good. If I could do that residually, well, not residually, but yeah, residually, if I could do that where I get to that point where my business is creating that automatically on autopilot, okay? Or if I could recreate that to $2,000 a month, I'm good. If I don't got to go punch a clock, I'm good at that point right there. The rest is gravy. I was like, okay. So you see, the number that you have in your mind is your number. Sort of like for those of you that live in the States and you see those beds and stuff that they sell, they're numbered beds, you know. What's your number? Well, I'm 13, I'm 12, I'm 5, I'm 7. You know, whatever your number is, everybody's number is different. Everybody's comfort level is different. Everybody's bed, stiffness or whatever, it's all different. I sleep on a hard bed. I like to sleep on a hard bed. You might like sleeping. Your body might need a soft bed. In that areas and stuff, we're all different. This is why it's vital that you don't just throw a number out there just because. Really I had one of my team members yesterday ask me this, and this is amazing because he said, hey, Tony, what is really that number that's in your head that you need to make? And I told him, we were having a really good conversation, Josh, thank you. Really good conversation because he's going through this right now. He's one of our team members, one of our business partners. And I seen even in him the transformation. I see the transformation. And I just sit in my chair and I'm just so humbled to see when the light bulb comes on. It's really amazing position to be in. It's in a really amazing position to be in, where I actually put myself in a position where I can actually see these things happening. And I just get goosebumps the size of milk duds on my arms. The excitement that goes through my body for you. The day that you realize how important you are. The day that you realize how loved you are. Listen, my friend, if you don't feel loved, just know that I love you. Yes, you. Touch your heart and know that I love you. And I don't mean that in a stupid, weird way. I mean that sincerely. I would not do this if I didn't care about you. I wouldn't waste my time. Just like I don't waste my time with somebody who's negative all the time. Just like I don't waste my time for somebody who wants to just continue, bashing and, and trying to create ruckus in someone else's life. I don't have time for that. I'm quick to hit the delete button. But you're here, my friend, and you're still listening to the sound of my voice. And I want you to know something. Listen to me. I want you to know something. Whatever your mind can conceive, whatever thoughts that you have in your mind right now as we're having this conversation, as you are on this jet ride with me today, whatever thoughts are in your mind of the things that you want to accomplish, you can have that. It's in your destiny to have it because you had that thought. And you believed without a shadow of a doubt that you can have it. So you already had the thought, you already have the belief, and now it's time to take action. Now it's time to take action. And notice I didn't say take massive action. I said, okay, take massive action, but take calculated massive action. Because taking action before you do those first two things that I just talked about, my friend, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. You have to get past that subconscious blueprint. Once you get past that subconscious blueprint, which is from the thought to the feeling to that action in there, in between that area there, that's your subconscious blueprint. You got to deal with the elephant, my friend. You got to deal with the elephant. And that's what you're doing when you start writing it down and you begin to deal with that elephant and say, hey, you're going to where I'm going. I don't care if I'm the ant. You're going to go where I tell you to go, elephant. You hear me? You're going to go where I tell you to go. If you don't know the story of the elephant and the ant, I believe I went over it in the first couple recordings. You can go and get the recording. But you have to be the one to control that ant, that elephant. You have to. Just because you're the ant doesn't mean you're not powerful. That little ant is powerful. Ever see an ant? You ever see an army ant carrying, a couple army ants carrying a whole entire cracker? I did. I thought it was hilarious. And I actually sat here and watched it. Not in my office, but, it was in Florida. I actually sat there and I watched it. I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. That ant is carrying that cracker. There's a couple of them. Or a bunch of them. I didn't know. I didn't pick up the crackers. I actually sat in awe and like, oh, that's kind of cool. They really want that cracker, don't they? That's an awful big cracker. That's going to feed a lot of ants. but they had the ambition. They said they can do it, and they went and did it. You see, they conceived it that they can do it. And their little minds, I don't know what they have. I guess they have little brains. I would imagine they do. I don't know anything about ants, but I can tell you one thing. They were carrying that cracker. They really wanted that cracker. And people were about ready to step on it. I said, watch out. And they looked at me like I was crazy. They said, what am I watching? I said, man, those ants are carrying that cracker. Don't you see that? And the kids are like, wow, Mommy, look. And we actually stood there. There's three of us. I remember this. It's hilarious. I said, hey, watch it. And they're like, what? And they look. I said, those ants are taking their little crackers back to their kids. Relax, man. Watch out. And we actually stood there, three grown adults and a couple kids, looking at where those ants were going to take that cracker. That's how bad you got to want it, brother, sister. That's how bad you got to want it. It doesn't matter the size of it. You got to believe that you can carry it. Doesn't matter the size of your dream. It doesn't matter the size. You have to believe that you can carry it. This is vital. So many people pay $10,000 to hear what I'm sharing with you. So many people pay the quote-unquote gurus so much money to learn and to hear what I'm sharing with you today at no cost to you. I'm just giving it to you. And it cost me thousands to learn it. And it cost me years of my life to finally implement it. And I'm giving it to you for free. You are flying on this jet for free, no cost to you. You've been served. You've sat in a leather chair, a chocolate mocha chair. Had the heat pad on your face, the heat rags on your face. You had the wine in your hand. You were fed hors d'oeuvres. You flew comfortably in my jet as we spoke today. As we had this conversation, you were comfortable. You were just listening, and it came to you for free. Please don't take that as not having value. Everything you heard, if you begin to implement it right away, there's a good possibility it could change your life forever. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it as recent as this past week. That's why I beat this drum. I want it so bad for you. I just don't want it bad more than you. You have to want it more than what I want it for you. The moment that you realize that you've had it is the moment you can say you have the power. Say it to yourself. I have the power to make this a reality. My friend, if you stayed with me this whole time, I always tell people I'm going to do a 30-minute call today. I have yet to do one. That's how passionate and so driven I am for your success. But I can't do your push-ups for you. Like my mentor says to me that his mentor said to him. I can't do the push-ups for you. I can't do the studying for you. I can't go and study the things that I need to. I can't go and study the things that you need to study in order to live the dreams of your life. I or anyone else, we can't do it for you. You have to put in the work. You have to get the materials or whatever it is necessary for you to get the dreams that you want. You have to go and get whatever it is necessary. Now, I'm not saying go out and get the blue ball, the shiny ball syndrome and buy everything out there. No. If you go and get, let's say, for instance, a course on, I don't know, traffic generation, study it. Study it and implement it. I'll tell you like I told Josh today. He asked me a question. Should I go back to the old stuff? I said, it ain't going to hurt you. And then he said to me something that I was so happy to read. He said, well, I got the strategy that's going to fit me, and I'm going to go and implement that. Booyah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. For those of you that know, That's what I write when I get excited. Booyah, baby. You got it. Whatever it is you want to do, just get out there and do it. Study the strategy, implement it. So many people are stuck in paralysis of analysis, for crying out loud. I learned the strategy yesterday. Yesterday, I immediately implemented it. Immediately implemented it. Saw the fruits of my labor today. The moment I said, okay, I'm going to go today, this is what it is, written down, I'm going to go and study this tactic right now. Bam. I'm a marketer, so now it's no surprise to you. I'm an online marketer. It's what I do. I'm sitting here and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to study that. I said, okay, I got to read 28 pages. I'm going to read 28 pages. I'm going to do it now. I set it up in my schedule. I did my reading. Okay, bam, let's go. Let's go implement that right now. Okay, it took me till 5 o'clock in the morning, but I did it. I did it. I was committed. I was committed. My friend, are you committed? Are you committed to your success? Are you so driven that you are not going to allow not one person, not even your mother, not even your father, not even your spouse, not even your children, not even your neighbor, not even your pastor, not even no one get in your way? Are you going to do it? Yes, I'm asking you, not the guy next to you. I'm asking you. Are you going to do what it takes? Are you going to be committed to get the materials, to do whatever you have to do, get the books, get whatever it is that you need to get the information, get yourself around successful people that are heading in the direction you want to go to? Are you going to get yourself in their midst? Are you going to do what it takes? Are you that driven? Check the oil level. Check the fluid levels. Check the air pressure. Let's go. Let's go for a ride. That limousine that's waiting for you down on the tarmac, as the pilot comes around, getting ready to safely land us on the tarmac. That limousine that's waiting for you to take you to your destination. If that limousine air pressure in the tire wasn't checked and the oil pressure wasn't checked and the oil and the water, all that stuff wasn't done and wasn't washed and waxed and, windows cleaned and, the glass of whatever you want, the refrigerator's full, grab whatever you want, cold water, cold soda. If you're drink this early, that's fine, grab a glass of wine. The limousine is out there waiting for you. If somebody didn't get that ready for you, it wouldn't be prepared for you to go and sit comfortably and move on to your next destination. As the pilot comes down and wraps this beautiful Hawker jet down to the tarmac, we just made a safe landing. We are pulling up right now to the gateway. We're pulling up to the limo. We're in a private airport. There is no gateway, but we're pulling straight up to the limo. And before you get out, as you're getting up off these comfortable leather chairs that you sat on this whole time that you were on this flight, as you get up off the leather chair, and you just sort of stretch because you're just getting up and you think, wow, that was an amazing ride. And you say to yourself, man, Tony, I wish you could go for another hour. I'm just kidding. But as you get up off your chair and you straighten out your pant leg, you grab your laptop and you grab your belongings and you're heading out, there's a mirror to the right as you're exiting. Look in that mirror and say to yourself, I am committed right now to write down, and I don't care how many pages it is, to write down my blueprint right now. I'm going to begin right now. As soon as I get into the limo and I sit down in the limo and I tell the limo driver where to drop me off, I'm going to begin right now to write it down. Write down my outcome. I'm going to write down my blueprint, exactly what I want, and I'm going to do it with feeling and with gusto. I'm going to put the feeling behind it. I'm going to write it down right now. As you look in that mirror, saying this to yourself, and you know you're going to implement it, look in that mirror and say, I am living the life that I created. My friend, you are living the life that you created. Until we speak again tomorrow, You have yourself a wonderfully blessed day. You take care of yourself. Thank you for flying with me today. God bless you, and bye for now.